At least we agree on one thing. Hamukuamini ya kwamba inawezekana.
Hey, guys, kumbe William Ruto ile speech alipeana upande wa parliament alikuwa ameandikiwa, na mwenye alikuwa ameandika hiyo speech alikuwa anajua ni speech ambayo rais akisomea wa Kenya watafurahia. Without knowing that kila mtu alikuwa keen. Kila mtu alikuwa makinifu. Na political analysts baada ya William Ruto address the nation in parliament wakaanza kuangusha bombshells. Na William Ruto akawa anakutana na hizi bombshells. Wanahabari pia wakiendelea kufanya nini? Kufichua about William Samoei Arap Ruto's numbers ambazo alikuwa anapeana pale parliament. So now imemgharimu Rais William Ruto kurespond akiwa upande wa Kisii. And in this video I don't want you to swipe and show me like, na anasema thanks for your great support. Nyinyi ni watu wa nguvu zaidi. Wale wageni ambao wanatazama kwa mara ya kwanza, ensure mnajiunga na sisi kwa kubonyeza alama ya subscription ili tuwe familia kubwa tena zaidi. Asanteni sana kwa hizo likes, asanteni kujiunga na sisi. Kwa hivyo guys, unajua William Ruto place imefikia kwanza, lazima anaona akimbizane na hao watumishi wa Mungu sana. Sasa hizi tena William Ruto ameanza kukaribia watumishi wa Mungu. Ameanza kuwapiga mamilioni ya do tena.
Mungu amenibarikia nikawa na rafiki huyu Peter Morwabe. Na vile yeye amesema kwamba kweli yeye ni rafiki yangu, tumetembea safari pamoja na yeye, ameniunga mkono, na wakati aliniuliza nije niungane pamoja na nyinyi, vile amesema kwamba kama kungekuwa na kura moja yangu ya Kisii ingekuwa yake, kama kungekuwa mtu mmoja angefika kwa hii mkutano ingekuwa mimi.
Kabla tufike pale guys, kumbuka huyu jamaa amekuwa exposed. Na ndo maana William Ruto amejaribu kurespond,
which was very interesting. He says 2 years ago when I delivered my first State of the Nation address, I had a vision to sell. Today I have a story to tell.
When I delivered my first State of the Nation address, I had a vision to sell.
Joachim, you took a lot of offense with that statement. I thought it was very poetic. You don't think it is poetic?
In the midst of being poetic, they lost the substance, because by that statement alone, it means that we do not expect anything other than just a story. And that entire speech is the president having a story to tell. I think the writer of the speech understands what the president wants to do and likes doing is telling stories. And so he wrote something that excites the president. But in the middle of that, to people like me, when I read the first 25 words of his speech, it tells me that you are not going to get anything else other than just a story. And that is the issue we are having today, that it is... I think President Ruto breaks the record of the Guinness Book of Record by making the most abstract speeches in his regime.
What do you mean by abstract speeches?
Abstract speeches are like speeches without real substance. You can refute nearly everything that he says because he likes quoting numbers. He throws numbers here and there. And there are no references as to where we can actually verify the numbers, where are the numbers coming from. When you say that this particular number of businesses have
been created.
Created.
300,000.
Yes, 300,000 new businesses have opened and set up in Kenya. Where do we verify this? And I think as the head of state, he should be very concise that this is the source of the information and Kenyans can verify. I am sure when we do a fact check, 70% of what the president has said is null and void.
Well, you know, that is very, very interesting what Joachim is saying. Because over the practice, right? Let's have that guy give us teeth and then we can. Ndio watu walipiga mayowe kwa online sana. Sasa lazima mupeane chai tukiona.
Unakunywa maziwa na tiba.
Yeah. The honey, eh? You want the honey?
I wanted the honey.
Thank you very much, sir.
Another person of the internet had an issue with me touching my nose so much. No, I do this.
Yeah, but I think ikikuwasha bwana. What is the...
Everyone has.
Eh?
It has a pointer.
There's a pointer.
Yeah. It's either you're uncomfortable with what you're saying.
No, but if it is itching?
No, it's
No. With me...
You're uncomfortable. Just listen. You're uncomfortable with what you're saying or you're lying.
No. The guy...
No, I don't think so.
Open your phone and Google.
Wachana na Google bwana. Google...
Yeah. But okay, I also used to think like that.
No.
Back in the day.
I think that a lot of people...
Let's continue the podcast.
Yeah, but...
No. We are continuing.
We are continuing. We are on the podcast, William. We are on the podcast.
I thought we were off.
So, you know, based on what Joachim is saying, when, for example, a German chancellor,
yes,
what is it called, chancellor,
chancellor,
you know, go ahead and talk to parliamentarians in Germany. I don't know what they are called in Germany.
Yeah.
They trust those numbers. Nobody thinks that actually a German chancellor is lying to the people. When a Canadian prime minister is telling the Canadians about numbers, they have a feeling that he's just telling the truth. If a Norwegian,
the difference from what you are saying.
I'm talking to the
No, I want to interject. Interjection, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
There is an advantage those people that you have listed enjoy that President Ruto doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage that President Ruto doesn't have is that we have a very big gap of trust between government and the people.
Mm.
And so today, today, based on our experiences with our leadership, you don't really trust what they are saying. Even if they say that today is a Thursday, you want to confirm to know that today is really a Thursday. And that's the difference. When a German chancellor is speaking in front of the representatives of the people, she could easily, or he could easily be trusted because of the past experiences the Germans have had with their chancellor. Even if it's your children, if you are fond of promising that in the evening I will bring sweets, but you don't bring it, and they know that you say and you don't, there will come a time where your child will just tell you that after telling her that you will bring sweets, she will tell you, we know that you will not bring.
Yeah.
It's not because of disrespect. It's because your child knows you have promised sweets for some time and you didn't deliver.
Odhiambo, and this is what I was asking you actually. I was going to the issue of trust. Why is it that, do you think that Kenyans have had their trust eroded with our leaders?
Of course. Quite a number of Kenyans have had the public trust eroded between the leadership and themselves, but also between the government and themselves. And I think this is because of the political narrative that has been sustained over the years and through different regimes, where different regimes push agenda which they then don't achieve in terms of matching up their words. And so Kenyans have taken politics to be a lie. Just see hasa, which means it's not real. No, see hasa, it's not real actually.
Yes, it's not real.
Yeah.
It is interesting that a lot of that is coming out from President Ruto's presidency. Because even when Uhuru used to speak and give numbers, people would give him a benefit of doubt.
You could give him a benefit of doubt.
You know? But where people are just, I mean, even if you look at this speech, there's so much. It is packed with details and numbers and dollars and shillings.
So this is from a communication standpoint. This is how I would look at President Ruto's speech. Of course, the opening is silly, and I'm a supporter of President Ruto.
Yeah,
and I support him because of patriotic issues.
Yeah,
and especially for the stability of the
patriotic
states.
Issues.
Nothing
so
else.
You want
just
to
because Kenya must stand before human beings. Human beings will come and go, but Kenya must stand. I don't want us to go any other route. So based on that alone, I have stated why I am supporting the president. Is not because I love
your reason is flimsy, my friend.
No. It's my reason, And it's because I've stated clearly that Kenya comes first before any other person. The president comes second to me in terms of the order of issues.
Yes.
And supporting president does not mean that I can't criticize him. I'm saying this so that his people who will watch must not think that I am in their bandwagon.
Yeah.
I am offering constructive criticism, especially in the context of communication. That underscored. The opening of the speech was very silly, and you can see a very amateur kind of writing.
Can I cut you short just 1 minute and read the first
Please.
3 paragraphs so
Yeah,
that as you talk about it, people can actually understand what because this guy has a big problem with his speech. So it starts with like that and say a story written not in the quiet of offices or the comfort of boardrooms, but out in the blazing sun of our farms, in the dust of construction sites where our affordable homes now rise.
Affordable
homes now rise, because we have always known it to be affordable housing, but we are wondering why is it that the language has changed.
Yes.
And the question is, who has written that?
Yes. So people are moving away from their homes to these affordable homes. The project is affordable housing.
Affordable houses. So
Yes.
some people are thinking that this is not actually written by somebody, but written by ChatGPT. In the dust of construction site where affordable homes now rise, and in the grit of our community health workers, doctors, and medical professionals who refuse to surrender in the quest for universal health coverage. It is written in the steady hum of our factories.
Today, I have a story to tell. A story written not in the quiet offices or the comfort of boardrooms, but out in the blazing sun of our farms, of construction. Our affordable homes now rise. Grit of our community health workers, doctors, who refuse to surrender in the quest for universal health coverage. It is written in the hum of our factories, determination of and finance their vision through the Hustler Fund, in the courage of our young people working on housing sites, in the Climate Works program, in the digital ecosystem, and in the bravery of those who, looking beyond our borders, have sought livelihoods abroad to sustain families back home. A story of sacrifice, a story of sweat, a story of progress that has not come easy.
Just stop right there.
Okay.
Those are buzzwords that are we majorly find when we are refining writings on AI. Blazing sun.
It sounds like a composition written by a high school student. You need to.
High school students are a little bit better because they give a human.
A human interaction.
Yes, human interaction. That you just feel there is no humanity at all. Those are very many empty words for about 1 minute.
Emotionless words.
And for you to strike an identity with the people when you're speaking, you have the first between 5 seconds and 30 seconds to strike. And that, I think this fellow was trying, as you said before, this fellow who wrote this speech or who manufactured this speech was trying to be very poetic in his introduction, but he failed. This is how I would have.
He lost the substance.
This is how I would have started, for example.
Yeah.
Dear Kenyans, my brothers and sisters seated within this honored August House, it is my pleasure today to deliver to you a report on the progress of the initiatives that we've made as a country collectively, done by my government and the private entities in this country.
Yeah. It's very, very strange.
It gives a human.
The people feels that
You're talking.
we are part of this thing.
Yeah.
I didn't write that
But
anywhere.
listening to this speech, it feels like you are being addressed by a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that so?
Yes.
That's it. Continue.
In the Climate Works program and in the digital ecosystem and in the bravery of those who, looking beyond our borders, have sought livelihoods abroad to sustain families back home. A story of sacrifice, a story of sweat, a story of progress that has not come easy. It is the story, again, so much fluff. It is the story you can see in the numbers, fill in the homes. And what are these things?
A story, you cannot see a story in the numbers. A story is something you witness. It's an experience you have. You also realize that in that very sentence that you just talked about, you expected to hear things such as evidenced by or as witnessed by the people of Kenya in the past few months or in the past 12 months. There is lack of humanity. It tells you, and I agree with Wanjigi's son, that it's very robotic.
Oh, this man.
The guy is a big person, huh?
Is Wanjigi's elder son?
Wanjigi loves him so much.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. Okay, good. It's the story you see in the numbers, filling the homes and traced in the lives transformed across the Republic. A story whose facts are available for all to examine, except perhaps for the cynical who have no facts.
Exactly. So already they're striking a balance.
Cynical.
They're striking a wall, or they're creating a wall discrediting any criticism that is coming to these numbers. One, if you are telling the story in terms of numbers, this is what I've talked about it before. The reality of duality and the duality of reality. We talk about the continuum.
Yes.
Now, if you look at that, the continuum in terms of data and a story is always striking the balance between abstract ideas and recognizing the emotions of the people, but also reading the room.
Data is scientific.
So data is scientific, and if you just mention data without telling the story in it, it is flat. So for example, instead of saying it is true in the numbers, what you should say is 1 out of 10, 3 out of 6. That is how you give a story of numbers. You don't just brandish numbers in front of our faces. It looks very, again, a lack of going to school.
But even until paragraph 10, the guy is just still, I don't know, fluffing. This is why I speak today with full conviction that history has summoned this generation, our generation, another repetition at such a time as this, to a higher purpose. There is no purpose being told.
Which generation is this again?
Yes.
Because Ruto belongs, in Kenya we are multi-generational. We have the Gen Zs, we have
the alphas,
the alphas, we have the millennials, we have the Gen X, we have the silent people or the silent generation. So that place should have read across generations. Not our generation. Because if you're talking about your generation, then you're speaking to a specific people who maybe some of us don't belong to. That's why maybe we are finding difficulties.
Yes, maybe he's talking to those people who are there in the 70s, but we weren't.
Some eras are shaped by events. Others are defined by the decisions of a nation makes. And today, Kenya is called to make such a decision, to finish the journey our forebears began and finally turn our long-held potential into lived reality. It's just fluff upon fluff upon fluff upon fluff.
That's what I told you before, that the Tower of Babel that exists in ODM also exists in State House.
No, guys. So, William Ruto ako confused. Let us now listen to President William Ruto.
Hiyo ndio sababu hiyo tunasema hiyo stima, kwa sababu hatuna stima ya kutosha. We must be honest with ourselves. Ndio nimependekeza ya kwamba lazima tujenge umeme zaidi. We now have close to 3,300 megawatts. We now need to move another 10,000 megawatts. Ndio hii stima kupotea usiku ipotee. Kwa sababu tunataka kujenga viwanda zaidi, tunataka kufanya value addition zaidi, we want to do more things and we need more electricity. It is not possible for us to develop this country unless we have sufficient electricity. And that is the plan we have going into the future. Tuko pamoja jameni? Niliona juzi wakati nilitoa taarifa yangu ya State of the Nation Address, vyombo vya habari walikuwa wanahangaika. Wengine wanasema sijui Ruto amesema, sijui wale watu wanafanya kazi affordable housing, sijui ni 450, sijui ni 600,000, sijui ni ngapi, ati numbers are conflicting. Hiyo ni sawa. At least we agree on one thing. Hamukuamini ya kwamba inawezekana. We are now arguing about numbers. Kama ni 400,000 ama ni 600, hiyo ni sawa. Tuendelee kuongea tu hapo. Lakini kazi inafanya nini? Kazi inaendelea. na vijana wako wapi? Wako kazini. So arguing about which number is right, statistics, hiyo ni sawa. At least we have settled one thing, that something is happening in our country. Transformation is happening in our country. We can argue on the numbers, we can argue on the statistics, we can argue on this or the other, but we all agree that we are moving forward as a country. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka niseme, ndugu zangu watu wa Kisii, mimi nimefurahi sana kufika hapa. Na nawauliza viongozi wale wengine wote, kila kiongozi, wewe kama uko na maono ya Kenya, tangazia sisi. Tuambie, wewe Ruto amesema affordable housing inaendelea. Mambo ya market inasonga. Kuunganisha stima inaendelea. Barabara inaendelea. Walimu tumeajiri. Mambo ya afya tunaendelea. Yako wewe ni gani? Usimangamange tu hapa ukisema one term, Kasongo, must go. Hiyo ni ujinga. Ama namna gani? Niliona marafiki wengine wakilalamika ati wananchi wamesema ati hawana akili. Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize, okay? Tuseme mko na akili. Si mtuonyeshe basi hii akili mko naye, mtuambie. Mtueleze sera yenu kama kweli mko na akili. Kama hamuna sera, hamuna mpango, hamuna agenda, alafu mnatuambia ati mko na akili. Akili yenu ni ya kufanya nini? Bure kabisa. Anyway, hiyo tutaongea. Hiyo tutaongea siku nyingine. Tuko pamoja ndugu zangu. Mimi nawasihi my brother Peter and the spiritual fathers that we have here, muombee taifa letu la Kenya, so that we have a vision for our nation, na Mungu atujalie ile inasemekana ya kwamba we must believe. Nimesikia sana yale askofu wangu Kishana amesema. Tuamini Mungu. God cannot let us down. Tuwe na imani ndugu zangu. Tuwe na imani. Tuamini Mungu. Tuamini taifa letu la Kenya. Tujiamini ndio Kenya iweze kwenda mbele. Watu wengi nawaona viongozi wanaongea, these are just prophets of doom. Wanaongea mambo negative about our country. Hii haiwezekani, hiyo haiwezekani, ile haiwezekani, ile haiwezekani. Sasa kama kila kitu haiwezekani, wewe unakuja kufanya nini hapa? So, ndugu zangu, mimi sitaki kusema kuzidi hapo. My brother Peter, you are a great man na Mungu amekujalia. And I have come here to share this moment with you, to thank God for the mission God has given to you in this city of Kisii. Tutakushikilia vile unaombea taifa letu la Kenya, vile unaongoza jeshi hii kubwa ya maombi hapa Kisii, ya kuombea amani, kuombea taifa letu liweze kusonga mbele. And that is why I have no doubt in my mind that God is going to move this country to the first world, because we have men and women who pray fervently for our nation, people like Peter and others. Na kwa hivyo, I know you are putting up a chapel.
Unajua, pia najaribu insulting kina Fred Okiengo Matiang'i, na ako kwa bedroom ya Fred Matiang'i, na kuna wale wameanza kumpigia makofi na wengine wameanza chaos. Juu hii ni bedroom ya Matiang'i, na unajua Matiang'i, hawa residents wa Kisii wana rally behind him.